Apparently I have played Apollo Justice Ace Attorney for 124.3 hours. By the way, how much does it say? It says 119.1 hours on the original Ace Attorney trilogy. So we've officially played like Apollo Justice Trilogy with Apollo Justice, Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice. Takes more time than the original Ace Attorney trilogy, including the Man from Von Karma case. I think that's because they were able to fit more on the DS game cards rather than the older cartridges, and so they're a little bit longer games. That's interesting to note though. So, without further ado, let's get into defending Maya once again, which I feel like plays into the meme maybe a little bit too much, but we'll see how the actual case turns out, right? It'll be a good time either way, because I find that usually, regardless of some little detail gripes and whatever, Maya will be innocent. That's a spoiler. Oh my goodness. Hold on. I feel like this should be the thing though. Not the aura, but Phoenix goes, Maya! Spirit channel the victim! And boom. That's the twist. I really feel like we have Maya now. She can control her spirit channeling. This has to play a role in the case, and she has completed her training to be 100% effective with her spirit channeling. Bugga, 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 bugga! Yeah, so we are in episode 3. So what does it look like here? It looks like episode 4 is Athena and the Return of Blackwell. Episode 5 is back in Kurain. That has something to do with Dirk and Rafa. And Sadmuddy's there again. And then there's a special episode. So that must have been a DLC case. Which, other than Phoenix, I don't know the characters there. So, interesting. So what we've got left after this case is 2 more cases, and we haven't had many that go, you have day 1 of the investigation and you got to go into the trial and then you got to go investigation again. In this game, yeah. I'm hoping they kind of do that a bit more because I feel like it adds extra. But I also don't want to do that and it feels like a waste. Just to pack game time type thing. So yeah, we're actually halfway there, approximately. For the game and then the DLC case. Interesting. So let's have a squeeze at the right of turnabout. We did the investigation, now we're going to be defending Maya in court once again. But now this is the Clown Court of Kurain. Changes it up a little bit, I guess. The 11th of May, 20 to 10 in the morning. High Court of Kurain. Accused lobby. I wasn't able to find any conclusive evidence yesterday. But if I can figure out Lady Kira's motive for threatening the High Priest, then maybe. I mean, here it does make a little bit more sense that you have to do the trial in the one day. Because otherwise Phoenix is dead, bro. They'll pronounce it guilty because the judge has stuff with his wife to go to. Nick, today Don't look so down, Maya. I'm going to defend you with everything I've got. you will do well to cease this insanity while you still can. Oh no, it's her. That's a completely wrong voice. I didn't know who it would be exactly. I didn't know if the main dude... You would do well to cease this insanity while you still can. As I said yesterday, I'm going to defend my client in court. Well, know this. You shall not witness a miracle of the sort that occurred last time. The moment she is found guilty, you too will be found guilty of abetting the accused. I never claimed to be a miracle maker, but I am good at discovering the truth. And unlike miracles, the truth is always waiting to be found. That's a pretty cool quote. The truth, you say? Then it seems you have chosen your fate. This shall be your very last trial. Nick. I'm going to prove you innocent, Maya. You'll see. After all, you have to introduce the plumed Punisher, warrior of Neo-Twilight Realm, to the folks back home, right? Right. I may be a defendant this time, once again, like I've been multiple times in the past. Also kidnapped. But I'll be by your side like always, Nick, other than when I was kidnapped. Thanks, Maya. This place is tough on lawyers. I need all the help I can get. Also, we can see the eyebrows under her hair. Interesting. Plus, it's always good to have you on the team. Well, it's time. Let's go. Back up, back up, back up, back up, back up! Come on, Maya. You will have to pull out the spirit channeling at the time where we're most desperate. I feel like that's what has to happen here. Especially because she's specifically keeping it a secret. Court is now in session. Day one. All rise. Okay, so we've got a fancy way of seeing that. We didn't see that before because we kind of just went in and took the place. All right. Let the trial of Maya Fey begin. The defense is ready, Your Majesty. Huh? Quiet. Can't you see Prosecutor Sadmadi is absorbed in silent prayer? Great. The trial's barely started and the judge is already mad at me. He's very devout for a prosecutor. And she's kind of lost a little bit of that cuteness now she's older, hasn't she? She's sort of in that in-between phase. Wait, how old was she again? 28. Wait, that doesn't look the same as her at that angle. Her ears feel like they're an odd angle. Maybe that's what's getting me. Why is Zuko standing over there? Oh, well... Your Majesty, in addition to being the accused, she is also my assistant. The accused is your assistant, you say? Very well then. A criminal does indeed make a fitting partner to a loyal with a defiled soul. That wasn't very nice. Yeah, well, bad-mouthing lawyers seems to be a custom of sorts here in Khura'in. I must say, I'm surprised to see you still here in Khura'in, Mr. Wright. And even more so to find you in the Hall of Justice once more. I cannot fathom why you would willingly risk your life in yet another trial. The answer is simple, Your Majesty. I am a lawyer, and this is what lawyers do. Although, to be frank, I'd rather be anywhere but here right now. Such foolishness. Prosecutor Sarkmati, are you ready to begin now? Yes, Your Majesty. The prosecution is ready. Let us begin without further delay. But first, I promise you both this. I will cast your wicked souls into the fires of hell. Thus shall the soul of the victim attain salvation. Splendid! I would expect nothing less of you, Prosecutor Shradmadi. Please save the victim's soul, Prosecutor Shradmadi. Punish the wicked lawyer who dares to stop these last rites. I think I'll pass on that whole fire and brimstone deal. And I'm not surprised by your words or stance, considering what Apollo's told me about you. Ho ho ho! So, it was you who instilled that putrid loyally guile within him. But putrid what? He, too, must soon face the fires, lest his soul be lost to redemption. But I shall send you on ahead, so that he will not be lonely when he arrives. Sorry, but I'm afraid it won't be that easy. People say, I never know when to give up. Nervous, Maya? A little. Feels like it's been ages since we stood side by side like this in court. I mean, it has been. Too bad I'm the defendant. Once again. Don't worry. We haven't lost a case together yet. You're right. Let's give this everything we've got, Nick. Indeed, he is right. He is Phoenix right. Now then, Prosecutor Shradmadi, would you please explain the case at hand? Of course, Your Majesty. Let us begin the last rites of the victim. Maya Fey has been charged with the crime of murder. The victim of her heinous crime was High Priest Trust in Me. He was conducting the purification rite when he was brutally slain. And the cause of death? Let us review the victim's autopsy report and the crime scene photo, shall we? And the cause of death was blood loss from a stab wound delivered to the abdomen. Now, what exactly did we have again? We had the photos. We had that photo too. We have Maya's statement. It was already stained. We have the warning letter to him. We have the arrow, the wanted poster for Dad's Arbel. The envelope to connect together that with that. And a range poster, so the height of the mountains is important, yep. The plumed Punisher theme with the Megaton on her belt is pressed. Wait, that's gonna be relevant to the case somehow. Prayer flags, I am imagining parachuted down from the prison, and then this letter from the dragons, which is probably like an invitation to join the rebellion or something. We have the newspaper, We have Lady Kira returns to battle rebels. That Lady Kira-like figure appeared 2 years ago, about the same time Maya got here. Some town elders see her as Lady Kira in the flesh. Other rumors are fueling it. The thick white ice that froze the ground has melted. That might be something important. The thick ice melted. Keep that in mind. We give thanks for the blessings. Haparaki. And the escaped prisoner. Yeah, so there's the escaped prisoner part in there. The rights guide, that'll be important. So it says the 3-part, the transformation rite. I'm reminding myself as well here. The rite of water. So the priestess enters the spring dressed as Lady Kira. Rite of fire, and they circle the sacred flames to purify her soul. Which wouldn't be able to happen if one of them is broken. Alright. The cause of death was lost from a stab wound delivered to the abdomen. The murder weapon was likely the Warbard dagger, which was used in the rite. Warbard, okay? However, the weapon is yet to be found, though the scene was thoroughly searched. A sacred relic used as a tool of murder? The Holy Mother's wrath shall be most severe. The murder itself took place at the height of the purification rite. The accused had donned Lady Kira's sacred robes, and the victim was there to offer prayers as a high priest of Koreanism. During the rite, the victim and accused were the only two at the inner sanctum. Therefore, the only person who could have slain the victim is Maya Fey. I must say, that does cast a great deal of suspicion upon the accused. Indeed. Now then, allow me to submit this diagram of the crime scene as evidence in this case. Alrighty then. In Koreanism, slaying a priest is a sin most grave and dreadful. Of course it is. Of course it is. Broken Lantern is noted here. Curtain lore in the Star Wars brain. And then the statue of that bird with the spikes coming out of it. It was pretty spiky. As such, Maya's Fey's soul shall be plunged into the lowest level of hell. The hell of tickling. Who comes up with this? Whose worst version of hell is being tickled forever? Oh, that's great. I feel like what the end case of for the Korean is gonna be like, yeah, Koreanism is a sham. It was just made up by some dude. And that's why the lowest level of hell is tickling. What's the other levels of hell? Like, ooh, burgers. Or something. There she shall be tickled without end for 500 million years. Man, don't tempt me with a good time, am I right? And the thing is, we gotta tickle back. You don't know, I'm gonna have as much fun if we can't tickle back, especially for the tickler. Now, if you're the ticklee, yes, you'll be laughing and have so much fun. And it'll just be a great time. What the hell is this level of hell? That was a terrible fate indeed. Would the defense care to respond? And here I thought the lowest level of hell was the hell of back pain. Oh man, what is this dialogue? I don't remember killing anyone. I don't have the dagger or anything like it. As my client stated, she has no memory of the event as described by the prosecution. But more importantly, she had no motive to kill the High Priest in the first place.
Objection.
Objection. So a bit like this. I see. I thought you might say that. Nevertheless, the meaningless prattle of lawyers is utterly ineffectual here, in the Hall of Justice. For all will be made clear by her benevolence, Rafa Padma Kurayan's insights. So it is, and so it shall be. The divination seance reveals the truth for all to see. Here we go again. My, how could I resist you? Bailiff, please show in the royal priestess. Alright, here we go. The divination seance. It's Princess Rafa! Oh, how beautiful her benevolence looks again today! Glory to the Holy Mother for this blessed day. As popular as ever, I see. Rest assured, we've got people of Korean. I will defeat this murderer and her abettor. Abettor. Is that spelt right? It looks weird to me. No, that's right. Okay. I think usually I haven't heard of it in that context. Usually I've been like aid and abet, but not as abettor. Makes sense though. They shall not escape their freedom expressed today. On their freedom expressed today. She incorporated in the dialogue from earlier. My goodness, Rafa. What a joy it is to have the royal priestess back in the Hall of Justice. May the Holy Mother grant us a divine favor. Erdihara Kurain.
Erdihara Kurain. Erdihara Kurain.
Okay, we got a chant going on. Yeah, turn that down again a little bit. She sure looks pleased with herself. Especially for someone who didn't know what a Freedom Express was until yesterday. Is there something stuck to my face, barbed head? Yes, it's those funny little dots and the things under your eyes that look like bags that have been put down a little bit far. You look like you're lacking a bit of sleep there, princess. No, nothing, your benevolence. Now then, your benevolence, the divination seance, if you please. Very well. Nana, my robe. Here we go again. My, how could I resist you?
O Holy Mother, we hold this divination seance in your name.
I forgot this was voice.
Let the eyes of everyone here be clear, and our ears be unstopped. O dance of devotion, guide the victim's soul to me, so that we may receive their final memories in the pool of souls.
Alright, and then are we gonna see the whole thing again? Yep, let's go. She's got a tattoo on her back. I don't know if I noticed that before. So you know the black bars on the side? They're probably that little bit of difference in size with the DS screen. Okay, he's praying. That wasn't broken. Unless that's a closer one. Okay. They did a switcheroo. He was too absorbed in reading the text. The victim's Mutama has spoken. The divination seance is complete. Great. Another clearly incriminating seance vision. It could not be any clearer, O foul offense. The accused donned the sacred robes of Lady Kira and then attacked the victim. Oh, how very terrible it must have been. The figure of Lady Kira lit against the dim lantern light, the scent of incense growing ever more potent as she drew near. One could almost sense the horror Abbott in me must have felt. The facts as presented by her benevolence are indisputable. But what? That wasn't me! Do something, Nick! They didn't even say she said anything, she just showed it. I'm working on it. That couldn't have been any clearer. It looks like I'm in for another uphill battle. The accused committed this vile act during our ancient tradition, the purification rite. So audio for this, I was trying to figure it out. Where's the memory where Maya did it? I mean, that's what they just showed, apparently. Him being absorbed in the sacred text and then looking back up and seeing someone dressed as her made him think that's her. Come to think of it, the rites guide explains a multi-part purification rite in detail. Clearly it's just Maya, right? Yeah, of course. Master Mask! I really want a return of Master Mask. That would be hilarious and come full circle. Because Shelly the Killer was never found again. He escaped. A transformation rite. The High Priest reads scripture while the priestess dons the robes of Lady Kira. The rite of water. Lady Kira enters the spring and the High Priest purifies her along with her dagger. Purifies her. Truly a loose end, yeah. We've got pretty much closed cases for the rest of them, but Master Mask, he is found truly a loose end. Is he the only one, I think, that's an actual loose end because he escaped to another country to escape punishment? The rite of fire. The priestess circles the sacred flames to purify her soul. Wait, so those must have been back to, because the others... Wait, let me check the picture. Yeah, those lanterns, so the wind blew, that's the broken lantern, and it blew the flame because it wouldn't blow the other, because that's not broken. So it was broken before the murder. Interesting to know. Indeed. Oh, it's Taras and me. Close enough to Timmy. Right. It's the victim. And M is allegedly Maya. It was her in the seance. But then when he looked too close at his sacred text and then put it back down again, it was someone else. Which... I'll posit that the escaped prisoner was hiding somewhere. Went in, knocked her out, and killed trust in me. It would seem that the murder occurred during the transformation rite. The rite dictates that the high priest stand in front of the spring. Okay, but wouldn't that be most of the rite? Therefore, the accused must have attacked him from the direction of the broken lantern. Well, barbed head, would you care to object? Of course, because I know my client is innocent. So you say, you truly do not know when you are beaten, do you? I managed to pull it off last time with Albie. I'll just have to do it again, see? See? When I reference Albie in Discord, it was in the same sort of thing. You don't have to say the whole name the whole time. It is Albie your guide. Right there. I remember, Lockup. You intend to find fault with her benevolence's insights yet again. It will seem lies are Polkanen creatures indeed. Look at that Polkanen! 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 My evidence is null and void. Well, let me pull up the evidence then. Let me see if I can make this bigger. How do I make it? Yeah, there we go. That's how I make it bigger for Discord, to show the evidence clearly. Can I do any more? That's as big as Discord goes. They'll need a new character now has been sentenced to death since they were going to kill Albie. You replied, oi, that's Albie, your guide to you, Western peasant, which you even misspelled your guide. You misspelled his last name. As I pointed out and said, get good. Like, yeah, I'll pull up the evidence. You call me out, I'll call you out. Now I need to make that bloomin' smaller again. I have the court record of my own Discord. You don't remember it? I refresh your memory. That is the thing. Oh, what exactly is a Polkunan? Someone is a real piece of work, so to speak. They can call me anything they want. The only thing I care about is uncovering the truth. So, a barbed head. Are you foolish enough to risk your life for your so-called truth? Because my insights are the truth. To deny them is to willingly dig your own grave. No. I have a 100% guilty rate. Surely there are some seances that have revealed that they're not the killer, realistically, and yet they still made the accused guilty. That says something to me. Anyway, the victim commits a purification rite by bowing to the lanterns and reading a sutra. As the first part, the transformation rite, ended, he lowered the sutra suddenly. He heard the accused's approaching footsteps and smelled her incense-laden robes, which would cover the smell of some dirty-ass prisoner as well. It was then that the victim felt an intense pain, and I believe this is when he was stabbed. As his lifeblood spilled over, his vision dimmed until finally he passed from our world. This doesn't explain why there was blood on the statue. Because, yeah, there's blood on the statue you can see in the picture here. If he was just stabbed and fell in there, there wouldn't be so much blood on the statue. That is everything the victim experienced in his final moments. Dressed in the sacred robes of Lady Kira, the accuser rushed the victim head on. The brutal stabbing she perpetrated could not have been any clearer. Yes, it is plain for all to see. No, it wasn't me! A sudden drowsiness came over me during the transformation rite. I didn't even get a chance to put on Lady Kira's robes. The other option is she was spirit channeled unwillingly. You waste your time with such meaningless statements, accused. You cannot explain away the truths revealed by the loyal priestess's divine insight. Oh. How did you end up finding contradictions last time? Yeah, okay, let's go. The deceased's final memories included all five senses. Oh, you mean those words that appeared in the Pool of Souls? It looked like, to me, like the bigger the word, the stronger the sensation was to the victim. Yeah, that's how it looked to me too. So this seems like a bit of an upgrade of Mood Matrix conceptually, but they made it from the victim's point of view, which changes it up. The sensations themselves are never wrong, only their interpretations. That's why I tried to point out mistakes in Rafa's insights the last time. Oh look, they're literally giving me, he heard the accused approaching footsteps and murder in incense-laden robes as an example. So if there could be contradictions between what Abbott in me felt and her insights, huh? You got it, and I'm going to find them this time too. Should I check out or point out contradictions in references? I'm fine. We did this last time. We're good. Nah, I remember how it works. Still, the sensations this time seem to fluctuate more than the ones from Albie's trial. In which case, I'd better keep an eye on changes in their intensity too. Okay, time to point out the sensations that contradict the insights, yeah. We don't need the tutorial again, we did it last time. Okay, so I'll do a save. Because we've gone through all that. Okay, so we got that. He bowed to the lanterns and then he read a sutra, which that makes sense. He lowered the sutra suddenly. Wind. He heard the footsteps. He didn't immediately. No! Ooh! He went toward... This looks like he went towards the killer, not the killer went towards him. So I'm going to select the footsteps.
Objection!
The victim supposedly heard the accused approaching footsteps, but did he really? What nonsense is this? Is it not abundantly clear? No, it's not, because there is something strange about those footsteps. Is it strange? Explain yourself, barbed head. The footsteps are strange because they don't get louder. The incense gets stronger, but the footsteps don't get louder, yes. They're not getting any louder. And why exactly does that matter? Please focus your attention on the incense the victim smelled. The scent grows stronger as the accused approaches, which it looks like he ran to the accused, but okay, we'll call it that. In reality, they probably was easier to have the model of the victim move closer to the killer. I mean, that's the perspective I get there. Pixel 9, you've been shoeless for years, what? It's Phoenix Quentin Tarantino now. If the accused really had approached the victim, the sound of our footsteps would have grown louder as the scent of incense grew stronger. Ah! Why, that makes perfect sense. How can this be explained, your benevolence? Well, there must be a reason.
Objection!
It is as they say, even a putrid worm of a lawyer will turn. Ah, he's the worm that turned. What does that even mean? He's not exactly singing your praises, that's for sure. Singeing, why did I read it like that anyway? Still, we cannot discount this information solely on account of its loyally source. Your benevolence, perhaps you must listen more carefully to the abbot's mitama. Listen more carefully, what's he talking about? Yes, it would appear so. I shall try to refine the sensation. Refine the sensation? I can more accurately gauge sensations by deepening my communication with a mitama. I didn't know you could do that. Why have we never done this before, By refining a sensation, a clearer picture of the truth can be discovered. He didn't seem too bad about finding the truth, though. In Apollo's case, anyway. Oh, blessed mitama, I beseech you, hear me now and respond to my call. Bells. Footsteps changed into bells. What could this mean? This is literally, he ran to the killer. What I saw at the start. Okay. Bells? But the only bells at the scene of the crime were... Oh, that jingling must have come from Abbot Inme's bells. You mean those big things he had on his ankles? Well, there you have it. The sound of bells was from the high priest's own footsteps. Unless it was Rafa, who has bells on her wrists. But then that means... That would explain why she was there earlier on the crime scene. Rafa evil? If the footsteps belonged to the victim himself, it means it was the victim who was moving, not the accused. I saw this from the damn start. The victim was the one who went running toward the broken lantern from the spring. I mean, he just straight on went into the killer, but okay. A far cry from what her benevolence's insight would have us believe. Intersecting diagram updated. But why would the victim have approached the accused? Okay, they changed the arrow in it. Okay. I guess what was there before is the arrow went the other way, but I didn't actually look at it. Maybe he was trying to defend himself. Please explain. He could have felt threatened by Lady Kira standing there with a dagger. If so, he might have thought to overpower her before she attacked. Still, your voices is nothing but a theory, and a poor one at that. But be not led astray by this lawyer's obvious postulation.
Objection.
Well, his insolence is inexcusable. I would ask that you calm yourself, your benevolence. Is there something you would care to say, Prosecutor Sadmadi? Even if it was Abbott in me, I scrolled my mouse wheel. Okay. Even if it was Abbott in me who moved, it does not negate the accused's crime. What do you mean? Yeah, I mean, he still ran onto a dagger. The accused was likely waiting for the high priest to approach. Yep, mouse wheel scroll goes to the next one. Okay, good to know. And as he neared, she plunged the dagger into him. It is as simple as that. Oh, right. It really doesn't change much, does it? Yes, it's as the prosecutor has said. Okay, it's mouse wheel down that changes it, not mouse wheel up. In fact, it is as I meant to say all along as well. Right, and that's why you were so shocked when you first heard it. Understand now, liar. The contradiction you conjured up has come to naught. Once I hone my insights, it will vanish like the dying rays of the sun. Insight revised. He rushed the accused and tried to fight her off by the broken lantern. As his life's blood spilled over, his vision dimmed until finally he passed from our world. See, the fact that it was Abbott in me who moved changes nothing. Come on, Phoenix, you gotta keep your cool. That contradiction I pointed out must mean something. That one sensation changed after Princess Rafa refined her vision. It stands to reason that something else might have changed too because of the refinement. I can focus on any sensations that have changed. Okay, so we had footsteps and the smell of the incense. While searching for more contradictions between them and her insides. Yep. Alright, let's go. Round 2, baby. Do another save just in case. After that. So he focused solely on the sutra. His vision went funny at the end there. The wind will be important. The wind didn't change. Water! Wait. No. B is rewind. The sound of water. Would this contradict anything though? That changed when it got closer though. Oh, the sound of water means it was still close to the spring. It was not near the lantern. Right.
Objection!
Hold it! How do we know the purification rite was performed exactly as it was supposed to be? That's easy. Customs governing the rite are very clear, and Abbott and me would have adhered to them. Well, that's strange. Mr. Wright, would you care to explain just what is so strange? Yes, I would ask you to consider the sound of the victim's footsteps. The sound of bells changes to the sound of water at one point. Knew it. What's this? It's simple. The victim must have stepped in some water. Oh. Oh, that'll change that again. Wait, was he facing towards the left side lanterns then? Interesting. Yes, and the only source of water in the inner sanctum is a spring. And therein lies a contradiction. Well, what contradiction? I believe the rite started out as it should have. The victim stood with his back to the spring and the accused stood right in front of him. But we now know the victim then moved into the spring. Or he changed direction, like he might have been in the spring and changed direction as well. Wait. No, that can't happen. The broken lantern was to the right, from his point of view. So he still needed to face the same direction, but he was in the spring as he got closer. And then the killer was right at the end of the spring. Okay. That is absurd. This means the accused's location just differs from what her benevolence's insight indicates. Ah! Then where do you propose the accused stood once she donned Lady Kira's robes? Based on the sound of the victim's footsteps, I believe mine was standing here. Okay, save. With the way that... Maya based on the victim's footsteps. I mean, not there, because it wasn't Maya. The accused still wants you on. Okay, so we need to go where the killer was. But Maya was not here because that would have been where the killer was. I always need to assume that we're going off of... We assume she's not the killer, I guess, but that's the only option I can give. Because we have nothing to tell us where Maya actually was.
Take that!
You really believe the accused was standing there? No, when you say it that way, Your Majesty, you making sloppy jumpers like that, Miss Rock. Now have your tongue. Okay, yep. Please, anything but the chop. Let's have an actual answer out of you. Where do you believe the accused was? Okay. I can't say where Maya actually was. Would Maya actually be here? Where she was supposed to be according to the diagram? And then the killer went in front of her?
Take that!
Okay, that's not it. by the broken lantern because the space around it was melted.
Take that!
Ah, why? How are we supposed to figure this out? Okay. So... purifies both her and her dagger. In the spring? Okay, so it was during the rite of water where he purifies Lady Kira and the dagger in the spring. Which doesn't make sense why he sees Maya undressed just before. Why would they? Because according to the guide, she should already be wearing the robes of Lady Kira. Until this moment, we've all just assumed that Abbott, Inmee, and Miss Faye were standing where they were supposed to be, as shown in this rites guide. In short, the victim should have been standing with his back to the spring and the accused in front. However, if that is how they were really standing, he couldn't have stepped into the spring as he approached her. The problem is the victim did step into the spring. This can only mean that Miss Faye had actually been standing in the water. See, okay, so he saw her before he was reading the sutra. She must be in the water, not wearing Lady Kira's robe, which meant that that wasn't blooming according to the ceremony. But if this was true, then their positions would have been completely reversed. Well, what is going on here, Miss Faye? Were you really standing in the spring? I'm sorry, but... I barely remember anything about the ride. Come on, Maya, get good. I was supposed to know this by heart. Maybe that's why you had the cheat sheet. The High Priest will never make such an obvious blunder during a rite. What on earth? Is that even possible? Be that as it may, this does not overturn my insights. It doesn't. Let us say the accused was standing in the spring. So what? Oh, what happened to the dots there? Okay. So what? This completely reverses their positions is what? This completely reverses their positions is what? But their positions different from what is customary is rather curious. However, what does that change? It certainly does not erase the accused's brutal crime. I guess you have a point there. Come on, Phoenix. Get good. Seriously? You liars are an absurd breed. Never thinking ahead, you cling to the first insignificant contradiction you can muster. Sounds like Princess Rafe has a pretty good grasp on what lawyers are all about. Don't support her, Maya. Oh, Maya, where would I be without your brutally frank commentary right now? Is this contradiction really meaningless? Something really doesn't feel right. Did I take a wrong turn somewhere? Well, now I'm in my insight to account for this new truth. Okay, we're getting revisions on revisions. That doesn't make sense because of the broken lantern! Yes, I know that one! Now the contradiction is no more. But the truth of the matter still stands, no matter how stubbornly you deny it. What do you have to say for yourself now, Miss Wright? Now, Nick! Your Majesty, this line may have raised a trivial objection, but her benevolence's insights have no further inadequacies of any kind. Yes, so it would seem. Wait a second, but there is another contradiction. And still you flounder about, wretched beast. Though you rack that putrid brain of yours, nothing worthwhile will come of it. Maya, please tell me you remember something that might help us out here. Sorry, I really don't remember a thing. No, we know. When he looked at Maya, there was the broken lantern. So that means he was facing the other direction. Which means when he was reading the sutra, he turned around to the spring. But now the place I was standing in has changed, who knows? That alone may cause a new discrepancy with Princess Rafer's insights. Yep, that's right. Now no, the Maya was standing in the spring. Major change that could very well produce a contradiction. I should take another look at the second diagram and confirm whether Maya was standing, and focus on finding any discrepancies between the position of this site, yep. I know, a standard for Ace Attorney stuff. So this is where we go, there's the wind. I think we need to go, there's the wind that blew the candle, right? That has to be it. So we court record, do that. The wind specifically, so she was in the spring, he turned around, the killer was in the other direction. Oh, we just need to select the wind here, probably.
Objection!
Your mom is in the same inconsistent with the vision. Why are you making it sound like this is wrong? I'm on the right train of damn thought. Why? I'm right. I know I'm right. Sight.
Objection!
Bruh, why you no do it? That's literally the broken lantern. I wish I could present some evidence to this. Because we could go, the broken lantern would have been affected by the wind. Because the other lanterns were not. Oh, it might have been the wrong statement. Hang on. Springside lantern.
Objection!
Alright, I forgot to do the statement to it. Your benevolence, I've found a new contradiction. Here, You did? No doubt it is not another of your vile attempts to slander my insides. No, take a good look at what the victim saw. It just might change your mind. The lantern flame behind the accused was flickering. There is nothing unusual about that, especially as the wind had stirred. No, that's where you're wrong. If the accused had been standing in the spring, then what do you see here should be one of the lanterns flanking the statue. I fail to see your point. My point is something is wrong here. The two lanterns flanking the statue were both outfitted with glass wind guards. So neither lantern's flame should have been flickering in the wind in the first place. She seems pretty tickled, Nick. I don't remember saying anything funny. I failed to see what you wish to prove here, but very well. I shall refine the vision and reveal the truth for all to see. Oh, blessed Mitama, I beseech you, fix your sight upon the lantern there. The lantern doesn't have a wind guard on it. And rightly so. For the wind guard was removed to reveal the sacred flame within for the rite of fire. Really? Does it say that? I don't know. I'm so confused because mine was supposed to be donning the robes of Lady Kira and getting blessed. And then she would keep the clothes on to be able to circle the fires, I would think. Therefore, there's nothing odd about the flame flickering. Because that doesn't line up with him blessing, like purifies both Lady Kira and her dagger, would be part of the sutra that he reads. I would imagine, then again, he probably has a lot of sutra to read. To say what? But when we searched the crime scene, those lanterns had their wind guards on. That's because the police put them back on. The flaker flames have burned uninterrupted for thousands of years, Defense. He could not risk them being extinguished, even during an investigation. But that will never fly back home. But hold on. Why would they bother to put a wind guard back on that's broken? Well, Barbed Head, are you done quibbling? If so, then it's time to bow down before this testimony of the Mitama. Nick! Don't worry, Maya, I'm just getting started. Alright, let's go over everything we know so far. Yes. Maya was wearing Lady Kira's robes and standing in the spring, but according to the vision, she wasn't wearing the robes. He read the sutra, and then he put it down, and he saw someone in Lady Kira's robes, but it wasn't Maya because that's the one that killed her. The High Priest is thought to have been moving towards her, so I should look for sensations that stand in contradiction to this arrangement. I won't give up. I'm going to find a contradiction that will undermine the accusation against Maya. Of course. That's the broken one.
Objection!
Your benevolence, isn't this statement inconsistent with the vision? Oh, come on. I didn't save it. Oh, I should have saved it. That's literally where it should be, though. I see it. Maybe it's a different statement I need to put it on. So, by the lanterns, by the Springside lantern. Right? And then this is not it. Yep, that's the broken one. Well, what could this possibly mean? That lantern clearly contradicts the inside. But this contradiction will overturn the entire case I've been building. I mean, duh, of course. Are you right, Mr. Wright? 1 minute you shout out, and then the next you fall silent. Perhaps it is like the bellow of one who is barreling down a hill with no way of stopping. Is that not right, Prosecutor Sardmuddy? I'm going to cold feet now, Phoenix. And if this overturns the entire case you built so far, there are only ways to keep moving forward, because that's where we'll find the truth. Sorry, but I'm not barreling down a hill. In fact, I'm in full control of everything with the indisputable contradiction I found. Is that so? The lantern behind the accused clearly, no, blatantly contradicts your inside. And does it now? One of the lanterns on the entrance side of the inner sanctum was broken. And if you watch what Abbot Inmee saw in his final moments, you'll notice that the lantern behind the praying form of Miss Faye is broken. The lantern behind Lady Kira, however, is still intact. In short, we are seeing two different lanterns in the seance vision. How could this be? And even if it was so, how would that contradict my insights? Let me start by saying, the claim I'm about to raise will overturn the case I've built thus far. Will the defense please explain himself? Based on the broken lantern, we can tell Maya and Abbot Inmee's positions, yep. Where the accused and the victim were standing. But did you not just finish the stating that the accused was standing somewhere else? I did, and I built my argument on that faulty premise. But thankfully, that has led us to here. To the actual spot where my Faye was standing. I must say, if the defense keeps changing its assertions in such a capricious manner, its credibility may come into question. Yeah, right, like it's not already in question. I'm willing to take that risk, Your Majesty, because I believe this will be the last time. I'd like to start by pointing out the actual spot where the accused was standing. Very well. Just where you now believe the accused was actually standing. Based on the location of the broken lantern, where was mine really standing? Okay. Back where they were saying before at the start. And then the killer was standing in the spring. That's what I reckon.
Take that!
I wasn't thinking straight before, but now it's all falling into place. We know the victim had stepped into the spring. That means Maya Faye had to have been standing in the water as he approached. However, his memory, which is only now become clear, reveals that Miss Faye was standing by the side of the broken lantern. In other words, she was standing where she was supposed to be according to custom. Does that not bring us back to the very beginning? No, this is where things take a different turn, and I mean that literally. The victim had to have been moving toward the spring. That means that while he was moving, he had his back turned towards the accused. What's this? Do you mean to say the victim turned around during the rite? Such an image appears nowhere in the seance vision. Actually, it does appear. It's just that no one noticed until now. No one though. Just how could no one have noticed something so big? Because the blooming suture was right in front of his face. There was a moment when the scripture the victim was holding was all we could see. Thanks to that, none of us could tell that he was, in fact, turning around in that moment. If it is as the defense asserts, then her benevolence's insights no longer make sense. How do you intend to explain that?
Objection!
I don't need to explain anything, because it's just as you said, Prosecutor Sardmuddy. Her benevolence insights don't make any sense because they contain a huge error. It's such insolence! A huge error, you say? Do explain. The huge error is the number of people there. Not even saving it. I believe this is what happened at the scene of the crime. The victim was reading a suture when suddenly he sensed someone behind him. He immediately looked back to see someone dressed as Lady Kira standing there. Wishing to see who it was, he approached the robed figure. That's when he was stabbed. This cannot be! Oh, but it can. And it is. The inside stating the accused stabbed the victim is wrong. And that is a real truth lying behind this testimony of the dead. Paul. Are you suggesting that there was someone else at the scene of the crime? Have I misunderstood? The voice of the Mitama? Yet again? This, it cannot be. Yep, she's out like a lion. Phew, that was a close one. But I managed to divine the true meaning behind the seance vision somehow. I should add these new facts to the court record. Yeah. Your benevolence, please allow me to take it from here. Yeah. So, okay, we're seeing that in the court record now. Wouldn't trust in me have pushed the killer back onto the statue, so that's why the blood got on there. I will overturn the accusations of this faithless, putrid-minded lawyer. Yes, I shall place my trust in you. Alright. Are you sure about this, Prosecutor Sardmuddy? My work as an international prosecutor has taken me to courtrooms around the world. And in that time, I've learned to perform last rites for souls in trials lacking a seance. Yes, of course, forgive my ludicrous inquiry. Moreover, I have with me a forensic investigator from overseas. I will show you all the most magnificent last rites ever seen. Oh yeah, we saw Ema earlier. I guess he really does think highly of Ema and her forensic expertise. I'm impressed that he's come to understand their value. Then again, he is an international prosecutor who's solved tough cases around the world. Time to hunker down. Huh. Well then, let us continue with today's proceedings. Could the defense please tell us who the third-party Justice Lady Kira was? The new claim has negated the insights of the royal priestess. So I trust you have some evidence to support it, correct? Yes, of course. Alright, this third party must have really wanted to kill the High Priest. I might be able to identify who it was if I had evidence of their murderous intent. Well, we're waiting, Mr. Wright. The evidence that can reveal the identity of the third party is this. Okay, I'm gonna save it here. Because I feel like... could be that one. Could be the newspaper. With the escaped prisoner. I think that's the next step we go by, is going the escaped prisoner. So I'll try that first. Okay, that's not it. Oh yes, I suppose the evidence does clearly demonstrate one thing. The fact that you are lowlier than the lowliest of worms, that is. Okay, yeah. I'm the worm that turned. Okay. What about the letter?
Take that!
Okay, we want something clearer than the letter then. That doesn't reveal the... oh, the wanted poster. Duh. The escaped prisoner through the wanted poster. No? It literally has his name on it. That's our ball. Yeah. That's our boy. I'm confused now. That can reveal the identity of the third party. The flags? No. I'm confused. What would it be?
Take that!
I'm confused now. I don't see what evidence would lead to the identity of the third party.
Take that!
Do I just do trial and error, I guess? But in the newspaper, I didn't do the right guide. I didn't think it would be that. It's not the letter. I wouldn't think it's autopsy report.
Take that!
I don't think it's a curtain, no. I tried the letter. I didn't try the pictures. It's not the pictures. Page 2, the statement.
Take that!
Didn't think it'd be that statement. But I'm trying everything because I'm stumped on what it would actually be.
Take that!
It is the warning, but that has no real identifying marks on it other than, oh, it's whoever was being Lady Kira earlier. Okay. Let's see where it goes. I just didn't connect that into being able to identify the actual killer, because that guy only escaped recently, right? Anyway, 3 days before the purification rite, the victim received a warning letter from an unidentified individual. Who did? Oh, I guess a train of thought is he was threatened by someone else, right? Whoever sent it clearly meant to threaten the High Priest. The letter said, do not perform the rite. But the rite went on as scheduled. I believe that is why the High Priest was murdered. Who do you suppose sent that letter? A person with something to hide. The rebel hunter disguised as Lady Kira herself. They're shocked. We're going all the way. Peace. Oh, not order. I don't understand. I had heard that Lady Kira has been in the news of late, only hunted rebels. If so, why would she have killed the High Priest? Excellent question. Maybe I would help to think of it this way. What if the High Priest had secretly been a rebel? Oh, that music changed. Let's go. The High Priest? He can't possibly have been a rebel. A High Priest? A devout follower of Quiranism? A rebel? Do you even comprehend the blasphemy of which you speak? Well, do you? I too found it hard to believe at first. But as I continued my investigation, it started to become more and more plausible.
Objection!
The third party was the rebel hunting Lady Kira, and the High Priest was a rebel. Your mockery of Quiranism, no. Of the kingdom of Quirain itself, and knows no bounds. Whoops. A shameless Bokongan lawyer who's making a mockery of our religion! As a faithful Quirainist, I take issue with these claims. And I'm loath to admit them into today's proceedings. I don't like where this is going. The defense's claims are but vile blasphemy, tantamount to spitting on the Holy Mother. Is it really that big of a deal? Maya? Happened in me, he was a distinguished monk and very well respected too, so yeah. We're huffing that incense, boys. It's just been going on there the whole time. Please don't let this turn into an international incident. But fear not, good people of Quirain. The writings of this putrid-brained lawyer who seeks to sully the soul of the deceased shall come to no avail once I conclude these last rites. The prosecution's assertion that the accused killed the victim remains unchanged. But the victim was stabbed in his abdomen. How is that possible when he had his back turned towards Miss Faye? Someone else must have killed him.
Objection!
Are you sure about that? You may have invalidated the seance, but do not let it go to your putrid head. The karmic flow of this trial is, as of yet, still in my hands. How can you be so confident? Something has occurred to me, you see. And your allegations of a third party are but a deluded fantasy. And I shall prove that by calling a new witness to the stand. An eyewitness who will deliver a definitive answer that will dispel the defense's doubts. An eyewitness, look, watch this be the escaped prisoner. Like, come on, bruh. Let us call this eyewitness to the stand. Yeah, wait for the face reveal. It's him again. Oh. What if he ended up growing a beard and his hair grew long in prison? Well, no. He has to be the shaggiest witness I've ever laid eyes upon. Please state your name and occupation. You know, that's on, so whatchamacallit. Anonymous TBD! What the hell? Oh my goodness. Liz, that's what they've been calling me. Anonymous to be determined. Bruh. TBD? As in, to be determined? Can't you just tell us your real name? The witness has suffered a blow to the head, rendering him amnesiac. Therefore, I named him Anonymous TBD in my report, but he thinks TBD is part of his name.
Objection!
You're letting an amnesiac testify? Have no fear, I've already questioned him at length. While it is true he has utterly forgotten his name and past. No, listen. Okay, yep, someone texted something. That's fine, I can look at that later. Well, it is true he has utterly forgotten his name and past. His memory of what he witnessed is still very much intact. Considering the dearth of information and knowledge may be of help. Wait, let me guess. Oh. He used the flags to try and escape the prison. Landon knocked his head and became amnesiac. Bruh. Therefore, I will permit his testimony. Now, Mr. Amos. Anonymous. Mr. Amos, please tell us what you saw. Alright, I'll be back in a minute. I need a short break. It's relevant. It's the official jazz version of the Steel Samurai, which we did hear the Steel Samurai come up during the investigation. Why should that be relevant to the case? Will be neat. Alright. I guess I should get back to it. Then again, let's get into the good part. Turnabout Jazz Soul if you want the album name. It's a good time in the Cantina. It's perfect to sit, relax to. That album. It's so good. And also reminiscent of pulp noir type stories where they will have a bit of jazz and stuff. And all that. Anyway, the night of the murder. Oh, what voice did I have? I forget. That night I was up at the top of Mount Punipuni, the mountain next to the inner sanctum. I had crowds, so I climbed up there to pray in peace. I know it's a no-no, but since there was no one around, I used my binoculars to spy on the right of the inner sanctum. That's when I saw the accused stab the high priest with a dagger. Oh! But that won't work because you need to have seen it from higher because of the curtains. This mountain is lower. Got you. There's no way you saw Miss Face stab the victim with a dagger. I swear I don't know what he's talking about. Well, I don't remember it anyway. Mount Punipuni is a beautiful mountain that is also known as the Little Sanctum. Oh, it's literally just showing that. They must be talking about the smaller mountain from the poster. Mr. Amos. I was wondering, Anonymous, yeah, Amos. What can I do for you for? What can I do you for? About 350, yeah. There is something lies at a high elevation where clouds and fog can obscure the view. Are you sure you were able to see what happened from the mountaintop next to it? Good point. His Majesty raises an excellent question. Well, Mr. Amos? On the day of the riot, there wasn't a cloud in the sky. I had a perfect view. If you don't believe me, check the weather forecast in the paper that day. Hummus. Alright, weather forecast. Do we have something about the weather in here? The ice... yeah, the ice melted. Yep. Nick, do we don't have the newspaper for that day? Yeah, let's take a look. It does say calm, clear skies, doesn't it? See? Told you so! The 9th of May newspaper updated in the court record. Well, it would appear the witnesses offered testimony worth hearing. Mr. Amos, I too have a question for you. Did you really want to go have a BD? Didn't you already question the witness? Well, that's what I'm here for, right? Shoot. How was the accused holding the dagger? Was she holding it underhanded? Its blade protruding from the bottom of her hand? Does he say? Okay, just an abdominal wound. Yep, I believe she was. It's called a reverse grip. Oh. A reverse grip would be backhanded, wouldn't it? Where it was sticking out and she was stabbed like that. Which would not be conducive to the seance or an abdominal cut. I thought as much. Hold it right there. What bearing does that have on this case? Cease your interruptions, you putrid-headed lawyer. Do you not see the significance in how the blade was held? Why don't you enlighten me, oh enlightened one? I knew you were a fool. I can already picture you in your next life. Ice pick style. How do people hold an ice pick though? Yeah, I've never seen someone in real life actually hold an ice pick. Other than... I imagine them like holding it frontwards and like doing an overhanded pick into something. And like video games and that do that as well. They do a pick into something. Which is not an abdominal wound. But if it's a reverse grip, I think of like the backhanded Chien, which that's a reverse grip for a lightsaber where the blade points up the back here rather than pointing out forwards up here. I can show you actually. I've got the lightsaber prop handy. So this would be a normal, regular grip, right? Where you have it up, and then a reverse grip would be like that. Maybe up a bit more. Where you're having a reverse grip in this kind of way, and it would be that kind of stabby stab and that kind of. I don't know what ice pick grip is. Never heard of the term. But there's a couple of examples of backhanded lightsaber styles with the biggest one would be Star Killer or Galen Merrick. Stand up, will you? That is the high quality lightsaber I got, by the way, too. Yeah, that's no fun, no. I can't demonstrate that myself. I'm going off of my own experience as I play through the game. Okay. How do people do an ice pick grip? Oops, what am I doing? Like that. Oh, that's a downward stroke anyway instead of an upward. So yeah, it's the same principle. Yeah, that's exactly what I was describing. Is that it will be a grip down that way with the blade pointing at the bottom. And it will be like that. Instead of being what was seen in the seance was you ran towards it and it was a stab like that. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking of. So I had the right idea when he said a reverse grip. Well, at least you don't need your throat to type in the chat. I can already picture you in your next life. The next life? Yes, after your soul writhes for centuries in the pits of hell. Tickle monster's gonna come after you for 5 million years. Oh, how threatening. You shall be reborn as a witless sea urchin with barbs limited to your posterior. You shall live a short, inconsequential life, only to be brutally devoured by a sea otter. Now, I was a bit excessive. I simply asked what the dagger grip had to do with the case. No, pay attention. How the accused held the dagger is of vital importance. With such information, we can infer exactly what actions she took. Oh, is it actually tonsillitis? That's not good. I hope you feel better soon. You were saying the victim was killed. Yeah. You were saying the victim was killed while he had his back to the accused. Is that correct? Yes. As such, the accused's dagger grip tells us something very important. The accused approached the victim from behind, swung her arms around him, and plunged the dagger deep into his abdomen using a reverse grip. It also gives us an example. But that doesn't line up with the seance. What? Does Mr. Amos' testimony clears up any doubts that might remain? Ha ha ha! And it coincides with her benevolence's insights as well. No, it does not, you stupid judge! This is a disaster. I thought I'd blown those insights out of the water, but now they're back to haunt me. Well then, the defense may cross-examine the witness. Yeah. The French may cross-examine the witness. It doesn't. The blood splash doesn't line up at all. I'm still... No. I still think the blood on the statue is really out of place, given what evidence we've seen so far. Something more must have happened to make the blood splash on the statue compared to just being a red spring water.
Hold it!
Are you sure you're not mistaken, Mr. Amos? Was it really Mount Pony Pony that you climbed? Oh, I'm sure of it. It was really Pony Pony-ish mountain. What does that even mean? You know, now that I think about it, it was a mighty fine view. I'm looking at the... that's all we've seen of the wound as well. Properly, because that's the crime scene photo. I don't know how it would have splashed that far. Mighty fine view. Okay. A Pony Pony-ish mountain.
Hold it!
If you hate crowds, why bother climbing to the top? Couldn't you have just easily prayed at the bottom of Mount Pony Pony? Wrong, bucko. This is a once-a-year epic event. I wanted to pray as close to the actual thing as possible. If you're so gung-ho about it, why didn't you go pray at the Plaza of Devotion? Like I said, I hate crowds. I wanted to pray in peace. Oh, Holy Mother. Why do I only get the annoying ones? On my burning faith demanded that I climb up the mountain closest to the inner sanctum. Also, and it's a known ever since there was no one around. Oi, oi, oi. Since nobody was around, There's nobody who could corroborate your actions either. Hee-haw! You're exactly right. In that case, Mr. Amos, let me ask you this. Was there a reason you didn't want to be seen? About that. If you get caught climbing the surrounding mountains on the day of the riot, you can get in big, big trouble. Nothing to do with the escaped prisoner going down the rope with the prayer lines between the... Okay. That's going a little bit far compared to what we've actually seen, but yeah. Ha ha ha! Har 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 har! Yep, that's how he laughs. Har 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 har! That's it. Yeah, it's certainly embarrassing to get yelled at when you're a grown-up. Har, 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 har. Yeah, you're a real grown-up, alright. And since nobody was around, I lost all inhibition and... I used my binoculars to spy on the right of the inner sanctum. You had a pair of binoculars with you? That's pretty convenient. Running away from debt collector. Look, he's the escaped prisoner 100%. That's what I'm calling that now. You weren't planning to spy on the right all along, were you? Actually, I just happened to have them for bird watching. Yeah. All them birds, after being in prison for so long, I had to watch them birds. You know, the women. There's some good birds down there. Bird watching, huh? I see. You're not going to keep pressing him on this? He's sketchy as heck, but I don't really have anything I can really sink my teeth into yet. Oh, okay then. Har, 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 har. I love the great outdoors. It's just the kind of guy I am. A guy called Anonymous TBD. He's really starting to get on my nerves. As I look through my binoculars, I can't believe what was unfolding before me. It's alright years of being homeless. Stabbed the high priest with a dagger. Did you really see what you say you did? Are you saying I'm lying about this? Well, I'm not. It's permanently in this old noggin. But I didn't do what you say I did. I didn't even get a chance to test the dagger on the day of the night. Would I know that? All I know is what I saw. Oh. The other option is that his wife killed him. Because she found out he was a rebel. And she believed in miracles. But more than that, she believed in Quiranism. I've never even seen you before in my life. Also, the name as a pun on believe in me and believe in me would be very topical to that. What possible reason could I have to lie? I didn't expect there to be any witnesses way up there. But I don't remember doing any of that at all. I know, I have a feeling the witness is lying. There has to be an inconsistency somewhere in his testimony. So taking a look at the court record, I know, I just pressed him for everything to start with. And then I'm going to save it, and then we'll be a good time. Because I'm pretty sure we're going to do the height difference. Here, probably this one.
Objection!
Oh, that one? Okay, hang on. Use the binoculars. I'll try it on that one.
Objection!
Not that one? Okay. What else do we have? I really can't think of what else it would be because the curtains would block them from seeing it from the lower point. Like, Do I do it on this one?
Objection!
Oh, that's when he said he saw it.
Objection!
That's a different one though. Okay. I don't know what they want me to present to which statement here.
Objection!
That wasn't it. I think I misclicked anyway.
Objection!
That's not it. I need to disprove the statement anyway, so that's not it. I'm just here on this train of thought where it's like the curtains were up. He couldn't have seen it. Okay, where else says about the curtains? Curtains here. We see the curtains surrounding the perimeter. Okay. Curtains surround the perimeter.
Objection!
How did you see if there was bloody curtains? Come on. The murder photo. Couldn't try it.
Objection!
No, I won't put that to the grip if it was the killer was in front of him. The plumed Punisher strap has the dagger in a reverse grip. That is a detail right there. And we can listen to the music. Alright. He said he was on Mount Punny, which is in the evidence I was trying to present. This to the left, that is the lower point where he wouldn't have been able to have a line of sight because of the curtains, especially. I was trying to present this to that statement. I can try it again. What if I present this? He says he's at the top of Mount Punny, which is this mountain top that is to the left here, that is 2,298 meters compared to the 2,310 meters there.
Objection!
Maybe present the photo. And try it.
Objection!
The photo isn't in. The flags. I feel like the flags aren't as relevant here. It's more about later on. We can try it.
Objection!
No. If the flags were relevant, they'll use like a parachute.
Objection!
I've been trying to present that damn photo with the height difference the whole time. I tried that on each one. Do. What did the newspaper say? Okay. Okay. The ride can now go on as planned. Thick white ice of frozen ground is melted. Escape prisoner alert. That's what it says. Well, the forecast, yeah. It doesn't say any of the details that I know about. That doesn't seem to contradict. And the moon is directly over the summit of Mount Pony Pony. Okay, hang on.
Objection!
Look, maybe it's whatever piece of evidence we have. I guess I could try the newspaper.
Objection!
No. I'm trying to make it make sense with a contradiction with what he's saying. Yeah, let me press this again for a minute. Why does it bling me? Not there.
Hold it!
There. If you hate crowds, why bother climbing to the top? That seems to be the one that's calling me in on. Okay, the hate crowds part. So what would be the... hate crowds part?
Objection!
Yeah, he doesn't want to be seen by the cops, yeah. I think that's pretty much stated. Yeah, the cops was the off-duty cops were praying, so he wouldn't want to be seen by them. The newspaper wasn't in on here.
Objection!
That's consistent with it though, if he was the... Oh, is this gonna be the thing? 2's a party, 3's a crowd? I see what you did there.
Objection!
I'm not gonna get this the rate I'm going. Stuff it. On the fourth statement, present the curtain.
Objection!
I was presenting it on the wrong damn statement. Okay, hang on. What was that one then? I was on the right. Use his binoculars to spy on it. I thought I'd already done that. I don't know what happened. My brain was done. I was probably trying too many different things. Alright, Your Majesty. I have my doubts about this bushy-bearded witness, but now I know we can't trust him. What? You ain't just judging me solely on my bodacious beard, are you? Not at all, Mr. Amos. It's much more than your sketchy appearance. It's also your sketchy testimony. Whose testimony, you say? Yes, recall how the inner sanctum was that day. Specifically, that it was completely enclosed by the ritual curtain. See, I was on the right track with it. I really thought maybe I did one of the other ones that mentioned the curtain, but not that one on that. And it was like, oh, it doesn't line up. Okay. Anyway. Well, yes, I believe you're right. The curtain would have completely blocked the witness's view from Mount Penny. Therefore, he couldn't possibly have seen the murder happen. Hoo-ha! Mr. Amos, have you been knowingly making false statements to this court? Aye, you got me! Let me check this playlist order. No, that's correct. Some of the episodes went in weird order because I'd mucked up the scheduling. Anyway. The witness will lower his voice. I didn't actually see the accused herself. I didn't actually see the accused herself. What's that supposed to mean? Let me set the record straight. I beg ya. The night of the murder of Mendon. I saw their shadowy silhouettes projected against a ritual curtain. The figures were created by the light of the full moon on that clear and still night. It was just a shadow, but I could tell it was the accused reverse gripping that dagger. When the moon is directly over the summit of Mount Pony. So that wouldn't be creating a shadow, would it? Shit, shadows, that's what you saw? That's right. I could see what was going on by the shadows projected on the ritual curtain. In the future, Mr. Amos, I would rather you offer up accurate testimony from the start. Forgive me, my main man, Mr. Magistrate, chalk it up to my fuzzy memory. But I don't think that the moon being directly over the summit would be straight down, would create shadows to cast one side or another. That's the thing, isn't it? I mean, man, Mr. Magistrate, chalk it up to my fuzzy memory. Now, it's all but shadows. It is of still valuable testimony. You have to be kidding me. What are we going to do now, Nick? All I can think of is to look for inconsistencies between the actual right and what Mr. Emus says he saw. Yeah. Do I have to be the rights guy? No, though. The defense may cross-examine the witness once more. Cross-examination. The night of the murder amended.
Hold it!
So what you saw was simply shadows? Well, that's right. These shadow figures on that bright white curtain. They showed through plain as day. I could see everything that happened. Miss Faye and Aberdeen were at the top of the mountain late at night. The only light up there was coming from 4 small lanterns. How could the shadows have been projected that clearly onto the curtain? No wonder people harp on you lawyers. You're always so dang skeptical. The lanterns weren't the only source of light, you know. Making us think of the moon. Okay, I'm on the right train of thought.
Hold it!
You claim to have seen shadowy fingers that were projected onto the ritual curtain, but did you really see them, Mr. Emus? Of course I did. The bright moonlight projected them onto that curtain clear as day. It was like watching a scene out of a horror movie from my front row seat on Mount Pony. I guess the moon does shine a bit brighter on your way up there. Boy, do you recall how bright the moon was that night? I remember there weren't any clouds, and that the moon was definitely out. But I don't remember if it could cast any shadows. Okay, thanks. Can't deny the moon was really bright, which means it's possible that it was bright enough to cause shadows to appear. Har 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 har! I remember it just like it happened. As a shadow, we could tell it was the accused. Hang on. How do you know it was Miss Faye if all you saw was shadows? It was that little bun on top of her head. But apparently the killer was wearing the outfit. Didn't need to see her face. The distinctive bob's a dead giveaway. I mean, she could have let it down as well. Never underestimate my keen sense of observation. Har 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 har. Now that's one funny haircut. It's not nice to make fun of a girl's hairstyle. I like my hair this way. Besides, you're the one to talk, you Sasquatch. You're not into this wild man look I'm swatting. Shows what you know, little girl. Har 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 har. Okay, that is definitely going into the One Piece laugh catalogue. Force for force force force. Har 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 har. Nick, isn't there some kind of crime you can charge him with? I'm afraid it doesn't work that way. No, he claims that he saw shadows. His testimony is sketchy, written all over it. Then there must be an inconsistency in there somewhere. Yep. Is he really watching everything from Mount Pony? If so, then I should see how his testimony lines up with the conditions of the right. Yeah, they're pointing me towards the rights guide, okay. The second one with the full moon thing, maybe? I should save it first.
Objection!
Okay, yeah, cool, that's it. There's orchestral versions as well that are official albums, which is neat. But let's continue. You saw silhouettes projected by the moonlight. Sorry, but that's just not possible. Well, what do you mean? It's also not possible that it was totally possible. That's impossible. I think we're going to need a logicalese translation on that. Let's take a look at this rights guide, shall we, Mr. Emus? The right is held when the moon is directly over the summit of Mount Pony. So if the moon was shining from the west, any shadows would have been cast eastward. But That's actually completely opposite. And Mr. Amos was standing to the west of the inner sanctum on Mount Penny. Oh, holy mother! The stars are shining brightly. That's right. A witness here couldn't have seen any shadow figures on that curtain. No way! Perhaps it was the sacred flames on the lanterns that cast the shadows he saw? I'm afraid not. I inspected them during my investigation, but the flames were too small to cast the crisp, distinct figures Mr. Amos claims to have seen. But I didn't see those silhouettes, really. But how could he, Nick? Maybe he was someplace where they were visible. Wait, don't tell me. Your Majesty, if Mr. Amos really did see those shadows, it brings a brand new fact to light. And that would be... The brand new fact that comes to light if Mr. Amos really did see those shadows is he was somewhere else. He wasn't where he claimed to be at the time of the murder. Oh, then where do you propose the witness was? Someplace where he could have seen the shadow figures, naturally. Wait, you mean... None of the mountains east of the inner sanctum are close enough for a good view. That leaves only one place where he could have seen the shadows from. Where the flags were. And where might that be? This is where Mr. Amos was at the time of the murder. The inner sanctum. Mr. Amos was at the inner sanctum, just outside the curtain on the east side. That's the only place from which he could have seen the shadowy figures. Hoo-ha! Really? Wow, I didn't even think of that. It wasn't the inner sanctum off limits to all but the victims and the accused. Victim and the accused. And the third party who was there, you mean? I get the feeling that's a subject prosecutor Sergeant he would rather not touch right now. Oh, you mean... That's right, this witness was at the scene of the crime, which means he is the mysterious third party we saw during the divination seance. He could be the one who dressed as Lady Kira and killed the High Priest. Just straight out there. Cookie! What?
Objection.
No one but the two participants were allowed anywhere near the inner sanctum. And the only way up from there are the stairs that start down to the Plaza of Devotion. Ah, but Naita, what about down to there? So tell me, how do you propose the witness entered that sacred space? He must have, haven't thought that far ahead. The sanctum has sheer cliffs on three sides and a steep towering rock face on the other. No one could have made it there by climbing the faces of those cliffs. Have you seen the determination of some people? Maybe they could have. His Majesty speaks true. To say Mr. Amos was at such an inaccessible location is but a bid to tarnish his credibility. Is that not right? Right, I wasn't at the inner sanctum, no sir, no how. At least I'm pretty sure I wasn't.
Hold it!
Well then, what about the silhouettes you claim to have seen? I'm starting to think I've been imagining things. What? This is insane. I knew we couldn't trust that lawyer. He's trying to frighten the witness. Peace, I say. This is impossible. I wasn't even sure how he got to the inner sanctum. It just looks like I'm trying to slander Mr. Amos. I believe on you, Nick. Rah, rah, sis bomba. Fight, fight, Phoenix, right. Rah, rah, sis bomba. Fight, fight, Phoenix, right. It's just sang to the melody of Poker Face. That's great. That's so on topic. Just look at the accused. Has she no shame? What's your problem, lady? Phoenix Wright is very trustworthy, I'll have you know. She's got some nerve, a criminal. I bet that poison her mind. But please, Ma, you're only making it worse. I appreciate the vote of confidence, but it's probably best to keep it to yourself for now. I would advise the defense to think carefully before making any more sudden outbursts. Yes, Your Majesty. If I wasn't a bad guy before, I definitely am now. Now, Mr. Emus, I would like you to think back carefully before you testify next about where you were that night. Okay, let's go. I wasn't at the inner sanctum. I was never at the inner sanctum, I tell ya. That much I'm sure of, even with the fuzzy memory. Besides, it would have been impossible to get there in the first place. So boy, you lawyers sure are scary. Okay. Press everything, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna go on it would be impossible to get there anyway. I guess it would have been impossible for him to get to the inner sanctum like he claims, but... No, you desist in trying to frame this innocent witness? Yeah, I'd like to see you explain how he got up there. Mr. Wright, is it not time to end these cross-examinations? Moment of desperation leads to 100 million years of torment. It means that for each moment a sinner spends struggling to deny their sins. 100 million years of torment are added to the time in hell. 100 million yen button! I'll put the reference in there. Koreanism is the strictest religion ever. And just so you know, you've already accrued 200 million extra years. Plus the 5 I started with, that's 700 million years worth. Sure, what's another 200 million, give or take? 700 million years of torment, sorry. Yeah. Well, it's a big deal to me. I can't keep saying that the witness was there at the inner sanctum if I can't prove it. The problem is, how am I going to do that? We're going to press, see if another statement comes up. That's how we do it. And then we do the most likely statement. Are you sure you weren't there? Oh, I'm sure of it, so you're deeply skeptical. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, are all lawyers always like this? Most certainly. They always try to pin crimes on innocent witnesses without any proof whatsoever. They are no better than bacteria or viruses. Yikes, you mean he's contagious? Yes, Phoenix is contagious. Let's go with that. It's gonna give me lawyeritis. Okay, this is getting ridiculous. Yeah, that was a close one. What a thrill. You almost put me there at the scene of the crime and I wasn't even there.
Hold it!
You just said your memory was fuzzy. I sure did. What's the big deal? I tell you what, your testimony isn't very credible if your memory of the events is fuzzy. Oh, no worries there. My memory may be fuzzy, but I'm very clear on one thing. Here we go again. If you ask me whether or not I remember what I did that night, I'd say I do. In short, you are confident that your testimony is true. Is that correct, Mr. Remus? Har, 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 har. Exactly. Guess you don't get to be a judge for nothing. So in closing, I can clearly say that I was totally not there. Impossible, you say? I wonder if it really was impossible for you to get to the inner sanctum. If you have something to say, just say it. Couldn't there have been another way to get there? A way that wouldn't attract attention? No, there isn't. Which means there is. Perhaps the defense will share its theory with us. I don't even have a wild guess, let alone a theory, though. Time to reach into my bag of bluffs. To reach the inner sanctum without attracting any attention. He fell from the sky. Maybe he fell from the sky? Har, 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 har. The lawyer thinks he's a comedian now. I was wondering what crazy theory you would propose next. Well, defense, let's hear it. Mr. Remus could have parachuted down. I already know the weather was clear and there was no wind to speak of. Perfect weather for skydiving, I'd say. Now that you have been backed into a corner, your delusions grow ever more delusional. The inner sanctum is on a tiny ledge up on a sheer cliff over 2,000 meters tall. One misstep and a skydiver would soon find themselves in the twilight realm. Yeah, I don't care how still the wind was, even I couldn't have made that jump. Wait, what's this building on top of the sacred mountain? Well, that is the Royal Penitentiary number 4. I wonder where numbers 1 to 3 are. Alright, Princess Rafa mentioned there was a prison up there. How do you get your prisoners up there anyway? By helicopter, but only with authorization from the Minister of Justice. He is the only one who can approve flights that pass over the inner sanctum. He's in on it. What if it's the Minister of Justice? I'd also add defense. And no parachute or any other equipment necessary for skydiving have been found. Are you saying I flew down there by flapping my arms? I may be an incredible dude, but even I'm not capable of that. Well, please add that statement to your testimony, Mr. Remus. We're just gonna do it. I think I'm just gonna do it. Let's present the flags to it. Mr. Remus is right. He couldn't have skydived down there without any gear. Well, now, finally come round, have ya? Now, you see that I couldn't have possibly been there at the inner sanctum. Right, if you didn't have any gear, that is. Well, I don't know. What are you talking about? That overreaction is a dead giveaway that I'm on the right track. Take a look at this piece of evidence. Those are prayer flags, are they not? Yes, but they have been sewn together to create one big banner, a banner that could also function like a parachute. Paul Kunka. The people of Korean are so used to seeing prayer flags that the police didn't even think twice about these flags during their investigation. No, this cannot be. The witness landed at the inner sanctum by using these prayer flags as a parachute. Is that not right, Mr. Remus? There's no way out. I'm surrounded. Mr. Remus? Well, this talk shocked my memory. I guess I was there at the inner sanctum after all. Yeah. As I suspected, there were 3 people there that night. You did it, Nick. You went wrong after all. faints. Mr. Amos, you were in disguise as Lady Kira that night, weren't you? Well, no way, no how. It's like this, oh yeah. I was only there at the inner sanctum by accident. By accident? Exactly. And that thing's not a parachute. It's a homemade paraglider. A paraglider? Are you telling me you can fly using a patchwork mess of material? It may not look like much, but it's as sturdy as can be. I rode the wind like an eagle, going higher and higher from my earthly launching point. Clap your hands better than him, I know, right? He's so obvious. But then something happened that forced me to land at the inner sanctum. So you just happened to land there. You expect me to believe that? No, please calm yourself, Miss Wright. However, the fact that the witness was at the inner sanctum is a crucial testimony indeed. And it certainly warrants further explication. Therefore, let's continue with more testimony. Explication. Let me check the definition. The process of analysing and developing an ideal principle in detail. Okay. That differs to explanation a bit. I don't think I've heard that used much. That's cool. That's a bit like, oh, what was the word I was looking up earlier? Let me look up my history, actually. I should have synced with Firefox here. I was reading my book and on a side note, this is also a word which I wasn't aware of. Insouciantly. In a relaxed and happy way without any sign that you feel worried or guilty. I hadn't heard this word before, but it was in the book I was reading. So that's pretty cool. There's a little side note on English. Why was it the inner sanctum? One evening, I was enjoying a trek through the night sky with my homemade paraglider. And just as Mount Penny was drawing near, something terrible happened. An accident forced me to make an emergency landing at the inner sanctum. As I landed, I banged my head, causing me to lose my memory. So you see, I ended up at the inner sanctum purely by accident. Uh-huh. Mr. Amos, you failed to mention any of this during your pre-trial questioning. Can't be helped, I'm just remembering it now. Continuing such slipshod testimony, you will be cast into the hell of hangnails, where you shall have hangnails grow and ripped out for 800 million years. Wait, that must be a localization thing. Hangnails? Huh. A small piece of skin or nail next to a fingernail or toenail. They're typically caused by having dry skin, trauma to fingers, or ingrown nails. I didn't know that had a name. Huh. The more you know. I think I've had that a little bit with bits of skin, but not now. Haven't really had to go to a doctor or anything for it, it's fine. I don't have any now. That's been in the past. I don't think. Hoo-ha! Man, that's just reminding me of Emporio and Varkov. But anyway. Hee-haw! Hoo-ha! I think I'll pass on that. Looks like that court prosecutor set Muddy off guard. This is my chance to rip his case to shreds. Okay. Why was it the inner sanctum? Yep.
Hold it!
You were enjoying a trek through the night sky with your homemade paraglider. You didn't go to pray. But a Valkyrian like me can pray anywhere, even while flying through the sky. But I wouldn't recommend you try it. You're bound to end up dead. Har 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 har. Paraglider? I didn't say anything like that. Well, that's because of the ritual curtain that blocked your view. Should have seen me majestically soaring between the mountains. Oh, really? What do you think, Nick? Don't ask me. Har har har! I was really enjoying that flight. At first, anyway. And was this an accident?
Hold it!
Was there something terrible that happened? Something terrible happened? Exactly. When I say terrible, I mean terrible. What? Was there something unexpected near Mount Penny Penny? What was it again? Wait, you don't remember? Let's just say it was terrible. Uh-huh. What accident? What exactly was this accident you had? Yeah, exactly, Phoenix. Good question. Now, what was it again? Wind. Oh, yeah, it was the wind. Not just any wind, but a sudden gale force wind that made me lose control. The wind was strong enough to make you lose control? You got that right. Okay, then please add that to your testimony. Okay. So the weather forecast, it was calm, clear skies.
Objection!
We have a saying in my country, Mr. Emus. From one lie sprouts another. Well, what's that supposed to mean? It means someone caught lying will lie again in an attempt to conceal their first lie. In other words, this current testimony is just a blatant lie you're telling to cover your tracks. What did you just say? You claim gale force winds caused you to lose control. But this newspaper has a weather report for the day of the murder. It says, the area around the inner sanctum will enjoy calm, clear skies today. Right, I do believe it does say that. From one lie sprouts another. That makes sense, but is it really a saying back home? I've never heard of it. Yeah, I kind of made that one up. For real? Your Majesty, the witness's testimony contains another flaw, one that's even more fatal to his cause. More fatal, you say? The French will explain himself at once. Mr. Emus claims he was flying up around the inner sanctum with his paraglider. And it would have been impossible to get all the way up there without any wind. Why, yes, I believe you're right. And we know the witness was at the inner sanctum, so Mr. Emus, how did you get there? From where? Without any wind, he couldn't have flown up there from the bottom of the mountain. By process of elimination, the only starting point that makes any sense is... Your Majesty, I believe I have the answer to your question. Pretty soon, saying that Mr. Emus must have launched himself from here. Let's do it. Right up here at the prison. Hoo-ha! Are you insane? That's where he came from. If he couldn't have come from below, the only other option is from above. So you see, Anonymous came down from Royal Penitentiary number 4. From there, he could have easily reached the inner sanctum by parachute. And that means he might have also killed the High Priest. What? Mr. Amos, why were you the third party in the inner sanctum, and the one behind the warning to halt the right that the victim received? Was it you we saw in his final memory? Are you the rebel hunter Lady Kira? Whoa! If the prisoner only just escaped, I don't believe that he would be the rebel hunter. I think it might be an incidental, but I don't know who could be the killer out of the rest, other than pulling a random... Oh, it could be Praise a Lot. It could be Praise a Lot. Or Believe in Me. Praise a Lot might be more likely though, but he hasn't been caught as a witness. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, help me out here. Come down from there. He made a parachute out of the prayer flags that they were given in prison that were donated to the prison so they could pray for Curianism and that. Sewed them together and made a parachute. That's how he came down from all the way up there. Oh, they don't show the wide view of it. But yeah, all the way up on top of that mountain. You did it! You finally left him speechless. Oh, come on, Mr. Prosecutor, man. Quiet, you fool. You should use this time to prepare yourself for what is to come. For a fate far worse than hangnail hell awaits you now. Well done, defense. I must concede this point to you. The witness did, in fact, descend to the inner sanctum from Royal Penitentiary number 4. He didn't even put up a fight this time. That's awfully generous of him. And if you're as perceptive as you seem, then surely you've already figured out the riddle. The riddle of Anonymous's true identity. Oh, his true identity? Not sure I know quite yet, but I guess I'll have to answer with something. Yeah. Phoenix! Stop playing dumb after being homeless. It was true, I'm the only one still in the dark here. Will the defense care to enlighten me? Who is this man we're calling Anonymous? The witness's true identity is... Is this really him? Only now do you realize the truth. Well, please do share with us your belated insight. What's wrong, Nick? Why are you holding back? Because this isn't going to be very helpful to our case. Really? Are you sure? Unfortunately, I've got no other choice. That scruffy beard and shaggy mane completely threw me off. But it's all becoming clear now. The nighttime BASE, the base jump from the mountaintop prison, the precision landing at the inner sanctum using only a homemade parachute. Only a paratrooper, or more precisely a former paratrooper, could have pulled that off. This witness is Data Bell, prison escapee and key member of Dirk's rebel group. What? Gah-yah! Gah! The witness is an escaped prisoner? Precisely. The police have been scouring every corner of the city to no avail. Meanwhile, here he was under our noses the entire time. Hoo-ha! Didn't think anyone would see through my clever disguise, King Darshan. Dashkan. It was a right man, man. Send him back to Genshin, yes. Do it. But the witness's charade is not all that has been shattered, is it? Defense. Boy, do I hate this guy. Please recall the defense's own words. Whoever sent it clearly meant to threaten the high priest. The letter said, do not perform the rite. But the rite went on as scheduled. I believe that is why the high priest was murdered. Yeah. If he was in prison, he wouldn't have been able to send this letter out, which is why I don't think it's him. Who do you suppose sent that letter? The person with something to hide. The rebel hunter disguised as Lady Kira herself. He claimed that the real killer was the rebel hunter disguised as Lady Kira. Yeah, and what's your point? One of the witnesses' true identity. Yeah, and the right hand of Dirk would not be killing rebels. Only a paratrooper, or more precisely a former paratrooper, could have pulled that off. This witness is Darth Arbel, prison escapee and key member of Dirk's rebel group. Yeah. Oh no! He is a rebel and an escaped prisoner. And he could not possibly have been Lady Kira, mortal enemy of the rebels. No! Now, perhaps the witness will enlighten us to the truth. After all, he has yet to refute any of this. Hoo-ha! You got me. I'm the razor-sharp fangs of the defiant dragons. That's Arbel! He even has the walk like an Egyptian pose as part of the pose for the rebels. When did you get your memory back? Oh, around the time you guys were talking about there being no wind. But you gotta give me credit for making up all that testimony off the top of my head. Are you prepared to tell us the truth now? Well, sure, I parachuted down to the inner sanctum, but I banged my head on impact and ended up unconscious outside the ritual curtain. In short, all my eyewitness testimony was a big fat lie. A big fat lie? Oh, and by the way, long time no see. UT? Wait, they know each other? Your Majesty. This filthy rebel belongs in a jail cell. Oh yes, of course. Bailiff sees him at once. Seems you really have forgotten the will of the dragon, huh, UT? Okay. But I haven't, and no dogs of the Garan regime are going to lay a finger on me. Alley-oop! He just runs! And the guards suck. Deploy all available resources. I want all units placed on high alert. Oh, testimony was a lie and then he just runs? Bruh. And the escaped prisoner escaped again. The police force has been placed on high alert. He will be caught before long. And he's following the tradition, Truce. He's done a Shady Smith. He's done Zach Grammary where he just says, oh, I'm caught. Okay, bye. Tracy helped with that trick as well, so she can learn from both. Yeah, if it looks like you're caught and you're accused, just bye. An escaped prisoner has escaped the law again after giving a ton of false testimony. Talk about a troublemaker. What I don't get is his motivation for giving false testimony. Okay, old Grammary. Or you could say valiant Grammary on hard times. Because who knows where Valent's gone, hey? He really pulled a number on all of us. What was the point of all that anyway?
Well, I can't help but feel that entire episode was an enormous waste of time.
Your Majesty. Perhaps it was not as great a waste of time as you might believe.
What makes you say that, Prosecutor Sadmadi?
We found the escaped prisoner, like, come on. That's our bowl dropped something as he made his escape from these halls. Ooh, that scrap of paper looks awfully familiar. It's the other part of this. But why is it so exact on the bloodstain? That's so weird. It so exactly matches the bloodstain. These appear to be direct orders from Dirk.
From Dirk, the rebel leader? Oh, but we only have a small corner of it.
Wait, I remember now. Your Majesty, I've seen that scrap of paper before.
You have?
The scrap of paper that's our bell dropped is a part of this.
Take that!
And this is...
I found it at the scene of the crime. It appears to be a copy of the order that Miss Arabelle dropped. If we put the two together, we should be able to read what the order says.
Oh my, just what does it say, Mr. Wright?
Yeah, we can't read. I can't read Kurohanese.
Prosecutor Sadmadi, if you please.
This ignorant lawyer has not bothered to learn our language. Very well, then. I do not understand. He's been there for 2 weeks, like, come on. What do you expect? Yeah.
Foolish fool of a fool.
Well, what does it say?
Using the lamplights as a landmark, he was to parachute down to the inner sanctum. Upon the rite's completion, he was to don Lady Kira's robes and make his escape. What? That is how he was supposed to escape from prison?
So if I were to assume that Miss Arabelle was the one who killed the High Priest, then maybe it was because Abbott and me tried to thwart his escape plan? Oh, foul lawyer. I'm afraid that it's simply ludicrous. But I didn't say anything. Did he just read my mind?
I know how your putrid mind works.
Fortunately for you, however, now that the rebels' escape plan has been revealed, it is clear that Daz Arabelle is not the High Priest's killer. How can you be so sure?
If only you would use that putrid brain of yours every once in a while.
Daz Arabelle's plan could not have worked without the help of a certain individual. Well, what do you mean?
I'm speaking of Abbott and me, of course.
Had Daz Arabelle simply donned Lady Kira's robes and made his escape alone? Now, what is this doing? Close that.
He wouldn't have been far too conspicuous,
but were he by the High Priest's side? Yeah, the High Priest seemed to be working with him. Otherwise, how would he be given the robes? Exactly.
The faithful citizens praying in the plaza would have no cause to suspect anything.
It is, therefore, unthinkable that Daz Arabelle was the High Priest's killer. Yeah, specifically landing the ritual site, the High Priest trusting me gives him the robes. He goes down.
So then you're saying the High Priest was a... Oh, I cannot bear to say it.
I'm afraid it is so, numbered among the rebels who threaten our kingdom.
How could this be?
Yeah, exactly what he's saying. The High Priest, a rebel?
There must be some mistake. Oh. Let it go and move on. Accept the truth, it is the only way. And that goes double for you, Defense. Your futile battle ends now. Cease your futile battle now. And why should I? Because I will now put the final nail in the coffin of the accused. Now that we have eliminated Dad Zarapal from our list of suspects, there's only one person that still remains. The accused, Maya Fey.
Hold it!
Hold it right there. Aren't you forgetting something important? Something important? Please do explain, Defense. We can't end this trial without looking into... Okay, what are we going to say here? The murder weapon, I think, because it's missing. The third party, we can try that and see what he says, but I'm thinking the murder weapon. Because the murder weapon's missing. It needs to be located. Talking about the true identity of the Lady Kira we saw in the seance vision. Oh, right, yeah, that makes a lot of sense too. But also, the murder weapon has to tie into them somehow because they would still have the murder weapon with them, right? If that wasn't Dat Arabal, then who is it?
Objection!
Who was it even? That matter has already been resolved. It has? What's he talking about? It is as I've maintained from the start. There was no third party in the seance vision. I mean, you could say Maya just ran around to the other side of him.
Objection!
But there was another Lady Kira there besides Maya Fey. We all saw her. Satura. Indeed. What? What the? He's been beaten! Oh no! I can't do my finger point! Oh no! He's been disabled out of action! The beads are too powerful! Yeah! It is time to let it go and move on. Your fate has already been sealed, much like your arm. This hardly seems fair. Point with the other arm, Phoenix! Show him you're ambidextrous! It is quite simple once you consider where the victim and the accused were at the time. If the victim was near the spring with his back to the accused, what would he see ahead? Besides the water itself, there's nothing but the war-barred section. Precisely. The Lady Kira we saw in the seance is a war-barred statue draped in her sacred robes. No way! That's such a dumb explanation. The accused wanted the false Lady Kira to appear in the seance vision. Therefore, she came from behind and stabbed the victim with the dagger in her reverse grip. But what does the autopsy say about the angle of entry of the wound? Absolutely nothing. Get good, autopsy reporter. Why am I having a blank on the name now? It's too late. Alright. It's been a longer day for me. Why would the accused want to do something like create a false Lady Kira? To show it to the victim as he was being slain. And what reason would the accused have to fool the victim she was about to kill? It was not the victim she was trying to fool. It was this very court itself. Now, that is some big brain plays. Come again? Suspicion would not fall on the accused if it looked as if another Lady Kira was there. And the defense was foolish enough to fall for it and claim it was a third party in disguise. Are you saying... I am. It was all a cleverly wicked scheme perpetrated by the accused. A scheme in which she sought to use the seance vision to mislead us. Now that's a big brain play right there. This can't be happening. What a face you're making, defense. I'm surprised you are taking this so hard. After all, did I not clearly state a while back that you were chasing after naught but a deluded fantasy? Something has occurred to me, you see. And your allegations of a third party are but a deluded fantasy. You're telling me he knew this is how it would turn out all the way back then? And that he was just waiting for the most effective moment to spring it on me? Do you understand now? I have had you dancing in the palm of my hand this entire time. It can't be. This is an outrage. You took our royal priestess's sacred divination seance and used it to commit this most foul and despicable murder. No, I did nothing of the sort. Maya. Nick, it's not true. I didn't.
Objection!
Cease this ugly display. Your fate is sealed now that the facts have been exposed. Your Majesty, the time has come to convict this criminal who only seeks to taint this sacred hall. Indeed, it seems this trial is over.
Hold it!
Does the defense wish to offer up yet another counter-argument or something? The accused is not the killer. Okay. This is gonna be plot twist time. And here's why. Now what do I do? I've got nothing. It would appear the defense has run out of arguments to make. I thought that for sure that Rebel was the killer. The only person with a possible motive, the one Justice Lady Kira, has vanished. I've got nothing to use against Prosecutor Samponi's argument. Damn it. I can't lose now, not like this. Very well then, I shall now render my verdict. Alright. Maya, time to spirit channel. Well wait, please wait, I'm begging you. It is time to let it go and move on. This trial need not be drawn out any longer. The defense has failed to counter the charge filed by the prosecution. In accordance with the law, I invoke the Defense Culpability Act against the defense. Now then, this court finds the accused Maya Fey and the defense Phoenix Wright guilty. Ah, we actually got a guilty verdict? The trombone. Your Majesty, please forgive the interruption, but... What is the meaning of this? A body has been found in the Plaza of Devotion, Your Majesty. What's this? A body? What happened now? And we found this sticking out of the victim. It was plot twist time. Just, Maya is not spirit channeling anything. Like, I thought she needs to do that to bloom and get out of this. Okay, we found the murder weapon. And that proves that Maya didn't do it. Well, why, that's Lady Kira's war bar dagger. Lady Kira, she has returned from the Twilight Realm once more. She has come to defeat the rebels. Hee hee ha ha, to the rebels she brings it. Peace. Well, it was in the dagger that was once lost has now been found. I have one more thing to report, Prosecutor Submuddy. Yes. This dagger. It bears the fingerprints of Maya Fey on it. Oh. Of bloody course it does. Can't catch a break. That's a good clip. But what? But what? Why would Maya's prints be on it? They did. It's really hard to tell because they seem to trust the seance so much that they don't do actual government stuff, actual investigation. But then even Gasp and Payne brought up all of the investigation he did, even though he didn't need to do it. I cannot believe it, yet it must be true. Is something the matter, Prosecutor Sagmati? This trial has run its course and the accused's guilt has been firmly established. However, it would seem the defense was right about one thing. I was. You claim that the murder of the Inner Sanctum had been carried out by the rebel hunter masquerading as Lady Kira. I did say something to that effect, but what of it? Prosecutor Submuddy, are you suggesting what I think you are? I believe the true identity of the rebel hunter who has been masquerading as Lady Kira is none other than the accused, Miss Maya Fey. But wait! They need the time of death on that body, because if that was during the trial, and while she was locked up, there's no way that that happened then. Spirit channeling has to be it. Oh, I missed some of that. I'll look at the history. Obviously, she'll have to spirit channel, prove her royalty, and they'll be like, wait, we can't kill her. What? Me? What? I realize how shocking this must seem. Looking back, however, I now realize there was much that pointed to this fact. The rebel hunting Lady Kira was first sighted about 2 years ago, and the accused first came to our kingdom 2 years ago as well. Well, why? The timing matches perfectly. But there's more. That warning letter was found in the High Priest's bedroom 3 days before the riot. Despite his house being locked up tight that night.
Objection!
How does that prove anything?
Objection!
It is difficult to believe an intruder could have found a way to enter such a secure house. However, the accused was known to come and go freely there, mainly to prepare for the purification rite. It's praise a lot. We haven't had praise a lot as a witness. Oh, we've just got praise a lot, and believe me, in the court record, they haven't even got bloomin' Dasarbell in there anymore. I'm leaning towards praise a lot more because we know nothing about him, or at least we know that Believe was his wife and she wouldn't want to kill him. Abbot Inme was an important figure with a ton of duties, including training acolytes. He was really kind even to a foreigner like me. He even invited me over to his house whenever I was between training sessions. The accused could have easily left the house unlocked for herself without anyone noticing. No! Yeah, of course. If we assume that the accused was Lady Kira, well, that more than establishes her motive for killing the priest. Yes, the victim was secretly an insurgent, bent on helping Arabelle escape after all. We still got that on the evidence there. We haven't changed that. I was just checking it. Precisely, and made him a target of Lady Kira's wrath. And after killing the high priest, she then unleashed her divine justice on another rebel. So it seems the scope of this case has expanded. We now have 2 murders perpetrated by Miss Maya Fey, masquerading as Lady Kira. Time of death on that, please. That last one. If Miss Fey is indeed a serial killer, it would affect the severity of her punishment. In light of this, I believe the second murder must be investigated before we can proceed. Okay, investigation. As you wish, Your Majesty. Maya Fey, I hereby charge you with this second murder. May your defiled soul feel the weight of your sins. A new murder charge on top of a guilty verdict? I don't know how this is going to work, right? We've never before had a guilty verdict that then turned into day 2 with another charge on top of it. That's interesting. It seems that the French will live to see one more day. I mean, if he's charged with the same damn thing, they're gonna kill him anyway, aren't they? Talk about hang on by a thread. Come tomorrow, a far more terrible punishment awaits you. I hereby suspend these proceedings so that the second murder may be investigated. Until the conclusion of this new investigation, this court is adjourned. Okay, so now we do get a day 2 investigation. Damn. To be continued. The rebels are defenseless. I mean, I think they are. From what I gather, they actually are. Or at least Dirk was. Let's see the start of the next part. We're back here. Yeah, it's the first time they've actually been found guilty. This part I'm going to leave till next time. Okay, I'm going to do the flashback of the part we just saw. Come on. Okay, I'll leave it at that then. We will see that next time, because I think for time, let's get to some of the discussion videos and the other things we want to have a look at. Yeah, I'm kind of curious where that whole rebel plot goes. They don't have too much more time to actually build it up and spend on it until something happens. That's where I'm a bit like, why are we going back to Apollo and Athena in between? Because they seriously could have done a Phoenix Wright game just based in and done that. And that would have worked.